Hello there, everybody. What's going on? So today in this video, we're going to talk about where you should and shouldn't invest your money. So what I mean by that is I've got a bunch of baits that I like to throw, the expensive ones and the cheaper versions of it. And this goes for just about anything, really. I got my rods here. I got two spinning rods, the two spinning rods I always throw, and the two bait casters that I always throw. For those people who are looking into getting bait casters, I'll talk about that. The people that are a little bit different, who don't really want to throw bait casters, I got spinning rods as well that I'm going to show you guys. So, I guess first thing I could tell you is line. We're going to talk about line, rods, reels, line, and lures. I said line twice, I know. But real quick, first thing we're going to talk about is line, because I only have... do I have my other one in here? I do not. Awesome. But there's only three lines that I throw. The main three that I throw is this stuff here, which not this size. This size here I actually got for catfishing and never used it. That's 30-pound Omniflex by Zebco. 250 yards of line for $2. It's a pretty good deal. I like this line. A lot of people are worried about this line, like, oh, it's going to be cheap. It's not going to work. It's going to break easy. Trust me. I've pulled in probably 60 pounds of grass one time. One time, I'll tell you a quick story. I had a 20-pound main line with no leader. I don't know why I said main line. 20-pound monofilament, this stuff right here, just 20-pound, on my Berkley Lightning rod, which we'll talk about that here in a second. I had a bluegill, or a small bass, blow up on my topwater and pull it down into the grass. So I was sitting there and I set the hook, nothing was there but grass. So I'm sitting there yanking in this grass. The rod broke before the line did. That could have just been human error. I could have been doing something that I shouldn't have. But the line never broke. I've never had this line here break off a fish. Now, of course, sometimes you hook into a stump a little bit heavy. You'll have to break it off. I've taken this line, English. But this stuff right here, the two sizes I throw is 20 and 12 or 15 if I can find it. 20 or 15 pound Omniflex. The 12 pound that I got on this rod here, I'll show you that here in a little bit. I pulled in probably a 20 pound snapping turtle with a swim bait and sat there and had him right there with maybe 2 feet of line out, and he actually unhooked himself. If you guys want to go check out that video, go to Big Bait Baker's channel, and he's got it up there. I didn't have my camera on with me, but it's a pretty cool video. But yeah, Omniflex. The other lines I use, as far as braid goes, I always use spider wire. I've never had spider wire fail. I've talked about it before. My grandpa, who died about 11 years ago now, he had a bluegill rod with 10-pound test on it, and we're still using the same line, same rod. Everything is the same except for like terminal tackle, like bobber, the hooks, the weights, stuff like that. That's a little bit different. But the same line is on that same rod, and we're still using it. I've caught fish on it this year. So, that was well before he died, sorry. Well before he passed away. He put that on there probably 15 years ago, honestly. Somewhere in that area, between 11 and 15 years ago. So, obviously, that stuff works. That's what I use. The sizes I use for frogging, I use 50 or 55 or 65 if I can find it. 65 is pretty hard to find around here, but 50 is my go-to size. If I'm not going frogging, if I'm doing something else with it, catfishing maybe or something, 30 is what I throw. That's just me. But yeah, 50, 30, or 65 if I can find it. Other line I use, if I don't want to buy the Omniflex, I'll go with Berkley Trilene. It's awesome. I love Berkley Trilene. One time I had a bait get snagged up in a tree and literally pulled the boat with that line. And it was 10-pound test line. And I'm still using that line, actually. But 10-pound test, I sat there and just kept reeling. I tightened down the drag and just reeled and pulled the boat. We were in a pretty good-sized boat. Maybe not a 20-footer, but it was an easy 3-person bass boat. And I pulled that daggone thing in with that 10-pound test, and it never broke. I ended up having to wrap the line around the reel and yank on it really hard, and finally was able to break it off. It's tough stuff. I only throw 10 or 8. Or if I have the money, I'll buy 15 for one of my bait casters. But my spinning rods, both my spinning rods have Berkley Trilene on it. I'll show you guys those here in a little bit. Those are the 3 lines I throw: Spiderwire, Omniflex, and Berkley Trilene. Those are the 3. That's it. That's all I throw. I don't throw anything different. I don't throw the real expensive Power Pro. I don't throw P-Line. I don't throw any of that stuff because 1, it's hard to find around here. 2, it's expensive. And 3, I don't want to. I'd rather go with this cheaper line. I could change it out easier and not be spending a whole crap load of money. So, we got a bunch of baits here. We actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 different styles of baits, but this can go with anything. We're going to talk about those here in a second. So, big swim baits. We're going to talk about those first. So this here is the most expensive lure I've ever bought. This is not the most expensive lure I have, though, because the most expensive lure I have, I got it in the mystery tackle box. It was almost 20 bucks. This here was 17. I think that one was like 18 maybe. But this here is a River to Sea S-Waver 168. This is the medium size. It's not the big one. They have a 200 and they have a 120. But this here is the big one that I have. It's in Warden color. This is a $17, I think it was $17.54, I think. Somewhere around there. I know it was $17, but I don't remember the actual change that it was. This was $10. $10 even. So you can see there's a little bit of a size difference. But this one here is a very much more realistic look to it. And I really like this one. 10 bucks versus 17 bucks. It's an inch longer. This one here it's a quarter inch longer. This is 6 3/4. This is 7. So that's the size difference right there. Personally, I throw this thing here more. Reason why is it's not super expensive. Now, depending on who you are, $10 is quite a bit of money. Me, not really. I've spent $10 on a lot of baits, and I've lost quite a few of them that are $10. There is, like I said in the other video a while back, a couple days ago, there is a 120 size S-Waver somewhere in my pond because I made a bad knot, and it's somewhere in there. It's like a $15 bait. I've lost lures. I've lost a lot of lures. I've lost some decently expensive lures. That's why when I go throwing a big swim bait, I'll go with a cheaper one like this. Back when I bought the 120, it's got a wire leader attached to it. Set that over there. But back when I bought this, I didn't even know this existed. So now I have one of these. And personally, I like this one a little bit better anyway because it's cheaper and you don't have to worry about losing $20. You can only be losing 10. So the one thing though, make sure if you do buy these to replace the hooks. Now, I probably won't be able to put links in the description because I'll be waking up and getting ready to go fishing in the morning. So I probably will forget to put links in the description, but just look on eBay for bass swim baits. And that particular swim bait right there, the description's like bass, muskie, 7-inch, shad swim bait. It's something like that, but it's legit. It's cheap, and it's not branded. There's no brand name on it, but they work. They're awesome. This right here is a Bass Pro Shops version of an S-Waver 120 size. If you do have a Bass Pro Shops near you, or if you shop a lot on BassPro.com, you can buy either one like this or the bigger version. The bigger version is a little bit smaller than this, which is why I didn't buy it. But the 120 version is a very perfect little small profile, and it's only like $6 or $7, I think. I bought this one down in Springfield, Missouri, and when we went down there to see the Wonders of Wildlife Museum last, I think it was July or May. I don't really remember, one of the two. But I bought one of these. I actually bought 2 of these. I have one in a trout color, and this color here, what is this color called? This color is called, oh, this is not the original packaging. Okay. I don't know what this color is called. I thought that was the packaging because I had that one in it. But, okay. Whatever. But if you want to go a little bit cheaper than even the smaller S-Wavers, you can go with that one as well. And I'm pretty sure there's another company that makes a small swim bait like that. Oh, 6 Cents. They make a small swim bait. It's not my personal favorite, but it can get the job done. We'll go ahead and talk about frogs now. So frogs, is something that a lot of people will tell you go expensive on. I don't believe so. This frog right here is my most expensive frog. This is a Strike King Poppin' Perch. Never even had a blow up on this thing that I can remember anyway. I've had it for nearly a year and a half and have not had much action on it at all. This frog right here is the frog that I caught my first frogfish of the year. Actually, my only frogfish of the year, because most of the ponds I've been fishing don't have much grass. But this here, $2 versus $11. There is a lot of differences because this one here is a normal frog. This one here is a popping bluegill profile. But trust me, if you guys want to get into frog fishing and you don't want to spend like $11, $12 to $20 on a frog, just get you some of these little Walmart frogs. $2. That's how much I paid for this. I don't even think it was actually $2. I think it was a little bit less than that. But $2, you can get you a good, decent frog. They walk good. They come across mats pretty decent. And they catch fish. So you don't have to go super expensive. Now, as far as popping frogs go, my two popping frogs that I throw are either the Spro frog, which is, I think, almost $10, and the popping frog that the Academy Sports sells, the H2O Express popping frog. That's a pretty decent frog as well. Those are the only two popping frogs. This here is pretty much the only regular frog I throw anymore because they're cheap and you can buy a lot of them. Here is walking baits. So a lot of people will tell you that the old head and spook is kind of gone to the wayside. Nobody really throws it anymore. I still throw it because it is a little bit different than other baits. It's the original. You know, it's the one that companies like Strike King have been imitating for quite a while. This here's a Sexy Dog. I like the Sexy Dog a lot more than the head and spook, but I still throw this when I don't get bites on this, because this will still get bites. And what I like about it is it's silent. No noise, rattles. You can get the head and spooks and rattles, silent, or one knocker. The Strike Kings only come with rattles. I don't believe they sell any silent or anything like that. I wish they did, because I would definitely buy them, but they don't. This color here is natural shad. This color here is baby bass. Personally, if I was going to pick between these two, you could probably buy two of these for the price of one of these, but in my opinion, I like these a lot more, so I'd probably end up buying another one of these, just to be honest with you, because I like the action of them, I like the sound, and I've caught a lot more fish. If you guys look on this bait, I'll kind of let it focus. If you can see all the teeth marks that are on it from bass that have hit it and just chewed the crap out of it. And when they're schooling on shad, you can get them to come up on this thing when I can't get them to come up on this. I've actually caught fish when I couldn't catch them on a swim bait under the surface. I could catch them on this almost back-to-back cast over and over and over when I couldn't even get them on a normal swim bait. So my personal opinion, I would go with a Sexy Dog over the head and spook. But if you are a younger person trying to save money and spend money very tightly, I guess you could say, you know, don't want to spend a whole lot on one certain thing, you can go with one of these and definitely catch a lot of fish. I have nothing against them. I personally just throw the Sexy Dog a lot more. Next thing we're going to talk about is swim jigs. So a lot of people say that you have to go and throw an actual swim jig versus like a football jig with a swim bait on it. That's not true. Throw that out the window. Don't even think about that, because it's not true. I've caught just as many fish on football jigs with swim baits as I have on normal swim jigs with swim baits. I have. I mean, I'm not even lying to you guys. I've caught just as many fish on a football jig with a swim bait as I have on a normal swim jig. So there's another thing that you can take and throw that out the window. You don't have to buy specific swim jigs to catch fish on them. You can throw a football jig or a flipping jig with a swim bait and do the exact same thing. It's not much different, really. It doesn't look a whole lot different in the water, and it still catches fish. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about rods. So we'll go over the spinning rods first. So I actually have these two rods here rigged up for fishing tomorrow. Me and my cousin and my uncle are going to go fishing. I have them rigged up. This one here got a drop shot rigged up. This here is my Mike Iaconelli Never Give Up Series white rod, white and black rod. 30 bucks at Walmart with 8-pound Berkley Trilene on it. I've caught a lot of fish on this rod, and I've caught some pretty decent sized fish as well. I use this thing for a lot of different things. I've caught catfish, throwing night crawlers on the bottom. I've caught big bass. I've caught a lot of bluegill, a lot of crappie. I've caught a few crappie on this. Not a lot, I guess I could say. A few. But this rod is a good all-around rod if you're getting into fishing and you don't want to spend 60, 70, 80 bucks on a spinning rod. This one right here is a pretty good rod and reel combo. The only reason I had to replace this one is because we set some stuff in the back of a truck and they slid and broke the tip off of it. I have pulled in quite a bit of stuff with that, and sometimes even the line doesn't even break. I've pulled some heavy stuff in with it though. This spinning rod here is a Shakespeare Circus or Circurius or whatever that word there. Zoom it in and let you guys see that word. I don't know what that word is. Honestly, I speak redneck and I don't know how to pronounce that. So, but 8 or 10-pound Berkley Trilene. I got a little crystal shad colored Dock Sewer Company swim bait on there. Hook that back. And the reel, this is actually a Ozark Trail reel, I think. It doesn't have a brand on it. Actually, doesn't even have words on it. Just a bunch of dots. I don't really know what those mean. I don't think they mean anything. But this reel right here, we paid 10 bucks for it at Walmart. This rod was also 10 bucks. So there's 20 bucks for a little combo. Another awesome combo is the Zebco Dock Demon. You guys can go back to my video. It's titled Passing on the Tradition of Fishing. That's what I set out there, and it's been taken. It was taken a long time ago though. But that's a really good setup as well. It's a $10 combo. Comes with line. These two didn't come with line that I remember. It's been a little while since I bought these, but them two, I know the white one doesn't come with line. I don't really remember about the black one though. But those are my two spinning rods. Those are the spinning rods I always throw. I don't throw anything other than that. Spinning rod rise. So here is Baitcasters. Now this one here, I had a little underspin deal on it. This right here, I'm going to take that off. The cat's trying to grab the rod tip with them spinning rods. This here is my most expensive rod and reel setup. It's mainly the reel. The rod's actually the cheapest rod I have. The rod was 18 bucks. Very cheap baitcaster. It's a Shakespeare Excursion. It's a medium heavy, I believe. Yep, medium heavy. And this is a 6.6 medium heavy. It's actually more on the medium side. It's a little bit lighter than my other medium heavy. I have the 3 rods that I normally throw, the 3 bait casters. I have one that's a frog rod, and then I have these two. They're all 3 medium heavies, and this one here is more of a lighter version of the other two, but it works. It's a really good rod. I've pulled in some pretty decent sized fish. But the reel, this was a $69 reel. This is a KastKing Speed Demon. Personally is a good reel, but it's not my favorite. The favorite I'm getting ready to show you is, that's my favorite. I'm getting ready to show it to you. But this here's KastKing Speed Demon. I got it off of eBay for 69 bucks. It's decent. It's not my favorite, like I said, but it's pretty good. So that 18 plus 69, I'm not going to do the math because I suck at math. But you guys can do the math. It's not a super expensive rod and reel, but it's up there in the price range. Set that one there down. And we'll grab this rod here. So this rod here is my everything rod. I throw everything from these all the way down to little half-ounce Texas rigs and even quarter-ounce Texas rigs. I throw just about everything on this. Little swim baits all the way up to the giant swim baits. This one here has 20-pound Omniflex on it. This is a Granite Outdoors reel. Now this reel I think was only 29 or 25 bucks. Pretty cheap reel, but it does work. I have only backlashed this thing a few times. It doesn't backlash as easy as the Speed Demon does, but I think I still need to do a little bit of tweaking on the settings for the Speed Demon. But this rod here is the Berkley, what is it called? Berkley Lightning rod. It's 22 bucks at Walmart is what I spent for this. 22 plus, I think this was 25, so there you go. What is that? $47 for a combo. Pretty decent. Plus you got $2 line, so, you know, The setup I got on that is a little Texas rig, 4/0 hook, 1/2 ounce weight pegged with a little Wrangler worm on it. This is a 6.6 medium heavy, and it's a pretty good, wait, hang on a minute. Okay, I read it, I can't read upside down very well. But yeah, this is a pretty good rod. I like this rod. I throw my big swim baits on this. I don't really throw the big swim baits on that white rod because I'm a little bit worried. Like I said, it's a little bit of a lighter rod. I'll throw my smaller swim baits, like something like this or something just like the swim bait. But I won't really throw much of this type stuff on it because it is a lighter rod. So, you know, you can, another cheap bait caster is the Shakespeare, what is it called? Shakespeare Allegiant, or I think that's what it's called, Allegiant, something like that. That rod and reel combo is a pretty good reel, and rod combo, I like it a lot. It's only like 30 bucks for the whole combo. Another really good rod and reel combo, if you can find them on sale, it's even better, but they're a $70 combo. It's the Black Max combo by Abu Garcia. I like Abu Garcia rod and reels, especially the Revo and the Black Max. Those are my two favorites. I've thrown a Revo a few times, and I don't know whatever happened to that rod. It wasn't mine. It was somebody else's, but I threw it a couple times, and it was pretty cool. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you want me to do any in-depth episodes or anything like that. Here pretty soon. I'm going to be going fishing. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to be going out and catching some fish, hopefully. And hopefully I'll be able to get them on camera. I'm probably going to keep my camera rolling 99% of the time just so I can get a couple bass on video before deer season starts. Because once deer season starts, fishing is going out the window for a little while because I'll be hunting pretty hard. So, thanks for watching. Bye.